have been in the news in the last 24 hours or thereabouts is Tega. Tega, very good morning to you. Welcome, as always, to the locker room.
Good morning. Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
Woo!
I feel the energy. Love it. Absolutely
All
love it.
right. So, what has happened in the So let's start with a lot of people and their ignorance when it comes to the Argentine chant. So I've seen a lot of people now come out on, social media, and is ignorance a very shameful aspect? And come out and say,
Mm.
oh, but they said their parents are from Angola. How is that? Um,
Yeah, me too, Tega.
Sorry, they said their parents are from Africa. That's fact. I'm like, yeah, I have to educate you. So if you say somebody's parents are from Africa, that's a fact. But if you say somebody cannot be French because their parents are from Africa, that's
Mm,
racist. And I will
mm,
explain why. Because what you're saying is African people cannot be French, or people of African descent, sorry, cannot be French. But here is the trouble with that. The French have different rules for how you can become citizen. There's naturalization, there's immigration status, there's um, citizenship by birth, there's citizenship by parenthood. So if you have one parent from France and one parent from Africa, there's how you can naturalize to become a French citizen. So
okay.
when you say these things now, if you say somebody is too black to be French, what you're saying is that black people can be French. And this is where the problem is. So those black people come there and add to your GDP, add to your benefits, add to
Boost the
everything that they
economy
come
and
with.
so on.
And then you now wake up and say, no, but you can't still be French. So that's what racism is. So in case you didn't understand, the Argentine players were singing that they are claiming to be French when their players are from Angola. That is racism. If they just said, oh, their parents are from Angola, that's fact. But if you say somebody cannot be something because they are black, that's the discrimination. That's the racism. So now that I've educated you people, because some of you are being deliberately obtuse, some people are genuinely ignorant, and then some people are just out here trying to be fanatical about their support for their favorite player. And that's what that's most upsetting. Um, so let me just let you know, don't condone and encourage racism.
Do not condone and encourage racism. We do
End
not
of
do that.
discussion. Period. All right, so that's how we start the locker room this morning because I'm still seeing a lot of hot takes on social media, and usually the ignorant are the loudest.
Mm.
But speaking about loud, the Olympics is here,
Oh,
and the
yes.
village. Yes, the Olympic village is officially open, so athletes are started coming in, and oh, my goodness, they are so joyous because it's one thing to qualify for the Olympics, but you can get injured before the Olympics start, so you will still not be an Olympian.
Very
But it's
true.
another thing to qualify for the Olympics and make it to the Olympic village. So athletes are excited. Come and see everywhere. Oh, I'm now an Olympian. Congratulations. All right. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the transfer market because my goodness, transfers are happening. 18
Mm.
year olds going for how many million? Why
See,
Ayo, why did you play football? I don't like the thing you are doing in this life.
Tigger,
I would
see,
have now been making money as friend of footballer.
it's not too late to make amends.
It's late. It's late. Ayo, that ship has sailed. All right. On that note, tell us how we can be a part of the locker room this morning. Give us the phone numbers, the YouTube handle, and the WhatsApp message platform, and then we'll take the stories one after the other.
All right. So to be part of the locker room, you can send your messages in to us on WhatsApp. The number is 0809 440 981. 0809 440 981. That's the WhatsApp number to give us a call and share your thoughts directly with us in the studio. The studio line is 0201 4489981. 0201 4489981. You can also join us on the live stream on YouTube. That's at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. That's on the live stream. All right, let's just take a quick look at some of the stories here, of course, Tega has already intimated you that the Paris Olympic Athletes Village is officially open. We'll also talk about the Super Falcons who are to land in Bordeaux on Thursday night, as well as a Japanese gymnast who is set to miss the Olympics for, believe it or not, smoking. I wonder. Patrick Vieira quits as Strasbourg coach, and he's linked to the vacant USA manager post. And Lewis Hamilton says it is game on as Mercedes seek more wins. And Manchester United signed 18-year-old French defender Lenny Yoro. That is what Tega was actually alluding to over there. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang announces Marseille departure as Mason Greenwood is set to join the French club. And FIFA is investigating a video after France alleges racism against Argentina. That's how we got into the show this morning. But let's backtrack and still stick with the Olympics because that is on the horizon, Tega. Now, you talk about the Olympic Village being open, and it's set to house about 14,500 people, including 9,000 athletes at its peak. That is major stuff.
Major stuff. So the Olympics is going to be wild. So in fact, I really I'm excited about this because you know what it is. The Olympics is, sometimes you're watching football, sometimes you're watching basketball, sometimes you're watching volleyball. There are different sports you're watching at different times. But when every one of them come together to compete on one stage, one platform, and for country, the excitement is mad. And the best athletes across the world coming to compete for gold. You have to understand that the Olympics doesn't pay more than club side too. Doesn't even pay. Doesn't pay more than the World Cup.
So it's mostly about glory for the nation.
Yes, largely about individual, personal glory for the athlete, glory for the nation. Yes, the medals are there, but trust me, they are not what LeBron James will earn in a week. But you see, the minute they said NBA is not the world, that's how all of them vex. They're like, who is coming to the Olympics? So all the big day players already signed up. The coach did not need to beg anybody. Don't need to harass anybody. They signed up. They're like, what? That's disrespect to our nation, So it is really about personal glory, number one, but it's also about national glory and team spirit and the fight. And that's just what makes the Olympics different. So the Olympics Village is open. I saw some posts from the Nigerian, some Nigerians have already arrived. So they're so excited because remember a few years back, some of them couldn't even compete at the Olympics because the NOC failed to register them in time. Can you remember that debacle? So this year was different. So you can imagine the
one week, one trouble.
I'm telling you, but this year is different because they are so excited. So I can't wait for the games to start. And also speaking about this, just to confirm, the mayor of Paris did take a dip in that pool. She did swim in that pool that cost them 1.4 billion to clear the sewage leakage out of. So she did take a swim in the pool, and so she has tested that it is good enough. So now, yes, you can all join in that league and swim. All right, let's go to the next one about the Super Falcons.
All right, the next story still in the spirit of the Olympics, Paris 2024. The Super Falcons 2004 quarterfinalists are scheduled to arrive in the French city of Bordeaux on Thursday as the countdown begins for their first outing at the Women's Olympic Football Tournament in 16 years. Now, Tega, it is mind-boggling that the Super Falcons haven't been to the Olympics in 16 years. I mean, a nation that qualifies almost every other tournament for the Women's World Cup. I mean, it is...
Ayo, it takes a while. Ayo, let me break it down. The Olympics is hard. Harder because, number one, of the times for the qualifiers. So sometimes you have players arriving just literally a few days before, or a couple of days before, all that drama. And then when they will play, and then the amount of teams that can qualify. So it is a tough one because there are so few sports and so many people.
Oh,
trying to
okay.
qualify
That
for. So
makes that makes a lot of
that's another
sense.
one that makes it harder. And so sometimes the teams are not the qualifiers to come when teams are not in their best of shape. Because like the FIFA calendar year is cast in stone. These are the FIFA dates, and so these are where most likely when you play your qualifiers. For the Olympics, it can be a little too tricky. And so it was a tough one, but they eventually made it here 16 years later. Sadly, they played a friendly. Okay, so they played a friendly, and you know how these friendlies go: Nigeria versus Canada. They lost in regulation time to Canada by 1-0. But after you know how we organize our friendlies, you play regulation time, then you play a penalty shootout. So they lost the regulation time by 1-0, but they won the penalty shootout.
Okay,
So
that's
if I'm
not a bad
strategizing
omen.
now, I'm just going to tell them, just drag every match to penalty shootout and win it. That's where we are going to now. Cannot dwell our shine. So
I mean,
yeah, it
anyway,
was good.
any win and way, as they say.
Exactly. It was good preparation though. To be playing former Olympic champions, Canada. So it was good preparation by the women. So wait to see how they will survive their group. Because remember their group is tough. It's Brazil,
Indeed, it is.
Japan, Spain. Three top 10 teams. Nigeria is ranked 36th in the world. Those are
Hmm.
three top 10 teams.
There
World
can be
number one,
miracles when you
world number
believe.
7, world number 9. Oh, I think we can come out of this group if they just
And
follow my strategy. Beat Brazil, maybe draw against Japan. We are good to go.
we're
But they
looking
must.
good. Looking good to go. Oh my goodness. We're going to take
All
a quick
right.
break,
And
all
on
right?
that note, this is a good place to talk about what Visa is doing this summer. So remember, Visa are the exclusive technology payment partners of the Olympics. And so this summer, if you're looking for a way to pay across countries and it is a hassle, if you are exploring new experiences, if you are looking for ways to celebrate your favorite sports performances at the Olympics, but you are having troubles making payments, all you need to do is get the Visa Dollar Card. Now, the Visa Dollar Card determines that you can shop online, you can shop in stores, you can select different merchants that you can shop from, and you can redeem exclusive offers on flights. So those of you that want to go to the Olympics, you can use your Visa Dollar Card to get exclusive offers on flights, on hotel bookings, on shopping at
Mm.
certain locations, for car rentals and more. So make sure you get your Visa Dollar Card to enjoy discounts as you plan your summer, especially during the Olympics, so that you can enjoy your summer. Because there's nothing like discount. Discount is a good thing. You want to enter the store and buy at
Oh,
lower
yes.
prices. you want
Who
you want
doesn't?
to get you want to get those cheap tickets. So trust me, Visa Dollar Card is what will get you that this summer. All right. On that note, let's take a quick break. Yes, Ayo. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll look at all the other stories that is happening in the world of sports.
All right, locker room. We'll be back on the other side. Stay with us.
Ayo, fantastic. So you're now going to be with us. In fact, we'll talk that one behind camera. Behind camera. Behind camera.
Oh my goodness, I'm tired, man. I want to sleep.
Yeah,
Sleepy.
because you came yesterday, Abby. Shouldn't have come yesterday.
At the time that ZB concluded and everything, it was already too late. I couldn't tell Joy not to stay away because she had plans already for yesterday. So I had to come in.
Okay. Mm,
But I would have
yeah.
begged Joy on my knees that Joy, please come yesterday. So that
Exactly. Because it was shocking.
yeah.
Mm,
After this, I'm going to like just slow it down to like 10 and I move.
okay. Really. All right. Do we have messages?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll come in with two messages and then we'll continue from there.
All
You
right.
understand?
All right, welcome back to the Locker Room on Smooth 98.1, brought to you by Visa. Ayokunmi Kekireko right here with you. Alongside me is Tega, and we are bringing you all the sports stories making the rounds on a feel-good Friday morning. You can be a part of the Locker Room by sending your messages in to us on WhatsApp. Let us get your thoughts in on 0809 440 981. 0809 440 981. That is the WhatsApp number. The studio line to give us a call on is 0201 44 89981 0201 4489981.
But we will tell you when to call. Don't just call. We will tell you when to call.
Good
All right.
caveat. You can also join us on YouTube at Smooth 981 FM Lagos for streaming live. Okay, so messages in. Pius from Egbeda says, Tega, Man United are really looking good in the transfer window. I hope these players are hot. Please, is Toby Amusan representing Nigeria or the USA in the Olympics?
How can she represent the USA? She's representing Nigeria now. What is doing you? When you won World Championship as a Nigerian, what are you switching for? She's representing Nigeria. Medal. We are collecting medal. I'm counting my medals. See, people are not helping me. I'm counting my medals already.
Amen to that. AY from Inuru says Super Falcons will surely win a medal at the Paris Olympics. It's rather amusing how the football transfer market now operates. Anybody can be brought in for any price. All that matters is your money and negotiating power. For my club, FC Barcelona, fans were sending donations yesterday via TikTok to assist the club in gathering funds to sign Nico Williams. How the mighty have fallen, if I can say so.
Or maybe they can send in funds and collect a part of the club. That's what they do in Germany. In Germany, every club is owned. A certain percentage of every German club is owned by the fans. That's a good way to do business. All right, so let's go to the next story before we start getting to all these transfers.
All right, let's talk about Formula One, where Lewis Hamilton and his Mercedes teammate George Russell.
You've skipped a whole Patrick Vieira.
Oh.
You're a Manchester United fan. I can see it. Your bias is showing.
It's no slight against the Arsenal faithful, even though I have beef with you. But anyways, Patrick Vieira stood down as manager of Strasbourg. The League One club confirmed yesterday as his name was linked to the vacant United States men's team coaching job. Now, Tega, I'm really curious. I mean, the USA went from being linked to Jurgen Klopp, now Patrick Vieira. I mean.
Look, the USA and the UK, they will link everybody until the vacancy is filled. Because now they're in the market, they're shopping. So they have to decide, do I want a pink shirt, a green shirt? They know they want a shirt. They just don't know what kind of shirt they want. And it's summer, so should I have like all those Caribbean themed shirts? So they're going to shop everybody. They're going to shop expensive, they're going to shop cheap. It's summer. So that's all they are going to do. Let them just shop with Visa. But that's
I see what you did there.
As it is, I think ultimately Patrick Vieira had alluded to the fact that that he doesn't mind life at Strasbourg, and they have this 4 to 5 year plan where they start competing in Europe, with some of the top clubs in France. But to be at a bigger club is always better. He had said that on a podcast. So I'm not shocked that opportunities are opening up and he decided to leave. He has already said that he is ambitious, and nobody should fault him for leaving, because he said, I want to go bigger. Isn't that why you work in your life, to serve on bigger platforms, to get bigger bucks? That's what everybody does. So yes, leaving Strasbourg for me, maybe a little early, just after a year, but it's not surprising. There are opportunities everywhere. He said, coach, I've said it before, coaching is the next best job. If they fire you from one place, don't worry. Give yourself 2 to 3 months. They fire somebody else and hire you. That's how life works. So there are opportunities, and so he's making himself available for those opportunities. That's it.
Making himself available. But I mean, looking at Patrick Vieira's previous sojourns in management, I mean, he coached New York City in the MLS between 2016 and 2018. I think he had his stints at Crystal Palace as well, if my memory serves me correctly. I mean, where does Patrick Vieira stand in terms of those upcoming managers in the game? Is he up there? Is he getting up there, or is he just somewhere around?
He's as good as he can be. Let's just leave it at that. I mean, and he's not like he's not going for, if they can hire Vincent Kompany for Bayern Munich. Vincent, that relegated Burnley. Granted, he's the one that brought them up, but he took them up and then he took them down. And Bayern Munich hired him as manager. Anybody can get any job. Didn't Di Matteo coach Chelsea? What are we saying?
So a Champions League trophy, no doubt. All right, let's take the next story here. And of course, now we can get into the Formula One story. I don't know where I was flying to or rushing to earlier on, but now we are here, where Lewis Hamilton and his Mercedes teammate George Russell will be fighting to win and hope to deliver a sustained silver arrows resurgence through the second half of the season, the seven-time champion said on Thursday. Tega, has Mercedes awoken from their slumber?
They have not awoken. They had a great stint at the what's it called now? In the British Grand Prix, and it was fantastic. Prior to that, they've been in and around there. So let me tell you, Mercedes competition is really Ferrari, because McLaren's competition has moved to Red Bull. McLaren is using Mercedes engine. Just so you know, the irony that they are using Mercedes engine, but they are competing to win races, whilst Mercedes is competing to, get podium spots or one or two race wins here and there. So they've still not woken up from their slumber, but they are better than they were last year. And so yes, I think Lewis Hamilton is. I mean, after you win a race, you begin to feel really good about yourself. So George Russell has won a race. Lewis Hamilton has run a race. There's no reason why they can't believe that they will win another race. And at this point in time, so that's what that's what they are pursuing. Trying to win as many races as available to them. So they can believe. This weekend we'll see whether they'll be able to make it.
We shall see. Let's take a quick message here. Oluwaseyi says Argentina is largely made up of European immigrants, mostly from Italy, who they open their borders to as a policy to Europeanize the country and bring in expatriates. So there's no difference between Argentina and France. Argentina implemented an open border policy between the 1800s to the 1900s to Europeans, and France did theirs through the policy of assimilation and African colonies.
That's where the racism comes in. They don't have a problem with the blue-eyed, blonde-haired people that are coming. They have a problem that you see why it is racism, because a lot of their team, or a lot of their players, if you trace their ancestry, you will be going to Europe. But you see, it's because the French can trace their ancestry to Africa. That is the discrimination. That is why it is racism. So Sheyi, you are just buttressing my point. They are too black to be French. That's what the Argentines are saying. If they were of mixed, heritage from Europe, from across
this probably
Europe,
will not come up at all.
Yeah, I mean, they're not singing this song for Antoine Griezmann. They were singing this song for Mbappe and the likes. That's my point. That's the racism. All right, so let's go to the next story before we run out.
On to the next story, and of course, transfer matters, where Manchester United have brought teenage French defender Lenny Yoro from Lille, the Premier League club announced on Thursday.
The hula baloo about this is that Manchester United had previously gone into the market to try and get an Everton defender, Braithwaite, and Everton was trying to get him for about 40-something million, because they're like, he has EPL experience. He can help you meet up with your quota of the British players, and domestic players, and then he's young, and they gave him for that price, and Manchester United was like, what? We are not paying that money, and then they go to pay 60-something million for this guy, for this 18-year-old guy who has no EPL experience, and he cannot add to their domestic player quota. They're like, this offer gives you more benefits. But this offer doesn't give you more benefits than years and maybe expertise. But how? No, not even expertise yet. Just years, because he hasn't played in the Premier League. So sometimes, some players are very good because you play in other leagues that are dependent on technicalities only.
True.
Then you come to the EPL that is dependent on technicality and physicality. And you struggle, So
well, we're hoping that he doesn't struggle.
No, look, I think any Manchester United fan that doesn't give him at least a year to adjust is I should be taking anti-Delulu pills. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Those fans will be disingenuous, really.
If he comes in and he immediately fits, perfect. But if he doesn't fit, it should be understandable that he needs about a season to acclimatize to the struggles that is the Premier League.
Right.
So, and he's 18-year-old, so he's a sponge. He's still a sponge. He can learn quickly. So
That is true.
I think nobody should pile on too much pressure on the young lad this time. But that's what transfer price money can do.
All
You
right.
can pile on pressure.
So really quickly, Tega, let's take this last story here. Talking about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang leaving Marseille and Mason Greenwood heading to the French club. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it's the young coming in, the old going out. It's that simple. Yeah, Pierre. Some people will say, but Aubameyang is young. Yes, he's younger than you. You don't play football. Those are people like me. Because I remember when Aubameyang started, and now he's leaving. I'm just like, oh, but then again, he's not a spring chicken. Yeah, so he's moving on. Now is the time to seek retirement money. So
Retirement money is key.
yeah, so move on and collect your pension plan. But he's had a good season at Marseille. But for Mason Greenwood, he now has the opportunity to spread his wings and prepare to fly. It's a young lad going into the French league. He has pace, he has athleticism, and he has a good work ethic. Things that are not naturally, you will not naturally say about the French league, because they like to play with their talent and skill, but they don't hustle. And
Right.
so he can take advantage of that, bring that physicality from the English Premier League and some of the technicality he's learned in the Spanish league, and he'd be a good blend for Marseille. But I also wanted to touch on the Japanese girl who's not going to compete at the Olympics now, because she was smoking. So the reason she's not competing is not that what she was smoking was illegal in France, or she has illegal substances were found in her bloodstream. It's just that Japanese association do not allow for this from their athletes when it comes to character development. Now, I think this 18-year-old girl is very silly. You suffered. She's a gymnast, by the way, so you can understand that her route is even tougher. You suffered to qualify for the Olympics. Struggled all your life from when you were 9 years old to be doing gymnastics every 2 market days. Struggled and made the Olympic team. She won bronze at the last World Championship, so she was a medal hopeful at this championship. So she won bronze at the 2022 World Championships. She's a medal hopeful for this one. You struggled again. You survived injuries. You survived all the trauma. You struggled and got to the Olympics. Then you decided that you're going to smoke now and break the association's rules and regulations. It's your village people. It's your village people.
They have a number on speed dial.
Perhaps she needs to join that prayer meeting in the morning. Someone that they really shout and use power. That's the one she needs to join. All right, so let's take some messages.
Yes, as we round up, this is from Shegun. Shegun says, United have learned from Maguire signing no more overpriced English players. Besides, Euro is still young. Okay, this is Shegun from Ikorodu. Olumide says, how about Tega? Everton wants £80 million for Branthwaite, not 40 million. Well, 40 million, 80 million. He said, she said, and so on and so forth. Cruz says, those of us that didn't believe Tega when she suggested that the weather inside the studio is Canada weather, Ayo is demonstrating it. Now you believe, Cruz. Now you believe. Let me see. This is from Mohammed. He says, all black people are from Africa. Where's the lie? The reggae legend Peter Tosh said this, and even Fela said this, we shouldn't deny our origin. All white people are from Europe, where they all come from. All white South Africans come from Europe. From Europe, they are not Africans. No?
Mohammed, you've been educated. You can say that their parents are of African descent, but you cannot say they are African because they are French. They are French by every qualification that it takes to be French. All right?
All right. Thank you for the lesson, Tega. And on that note, we come to the end of the locker room, which has been brought to you by Visa. It's been always a pleasure talking to you, Tega. A fun time always in the studio. All right. Do have yourself a great weekend. And hopefully Monday will be another time to talk more about sports news making the rounds. All right. Thank you for being a part of the locker room every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:15 on Smooth, 98.1 on Smooth Breakfast, which will continue. More great music to come your way as we journey into Lagos Talks.